Say hi.
Hey.
Hey. So I'm going to be going to the library to film. What are you going to be doing, honey?
My favorite place in the world.
He has to work. Poor bear. I have my little clear quartz pendant and an onyx ring. Super cute. Hi guys, Rose here with TheCacklingMoon. I'm here to film a really cool video, one that I've actually been really excited to film because this is actually the second day of me owning the beautiful Victorian flower oracle deck. So as you guys know, if you've been watching my channel and if you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I have been wanting to purchase this deck for quite some time. And I was actually able to finally find the deck, and I really wanted to share it with you guys yesterday, but I had a lot of stuff going on yesterday, and a sore mouth because of the beautiful dentist appointment that I had, and I wasn't able to film. So Saturdays, I think I'm designating for now until the schedule changes, but Saturdays I am designating as my typical filming day. It is the day that I can get away and go and check out a lab, which is where I'm in right now. So it's a study lab and have privacy to actually film. So I wanted to talk about the Victorian Flower Oracle. So if you guys are not familiar with this deck, this is an out of print deck. It is tarot. It's not tarot, it's Oracle. And it's one of the decks created through Baba Studios. So Baba Studios is a publishing company that publishes certain decks. They have other decks such as, and I actually keep it in this gorgeous red velvet box, but it is the Victorian Romantic Tarot. So I keep that one here in the box, and it's beautiful, like the cards, just really high quality decks, I would say. And so a lot of Baba Studios decks, unfortunately, become hard to find, hard to get a hold of, them being out of print and whatnot, so that makes it even more difficult. And I've had my eye on the Victorian Flower Oracle for quite some time. I had seen other tarot readers post pictures of their deck, and I really wanted to snag a copy of my own. But as I was going through looking on eBay and Amazon and whatnot, I couldn't find a deck that was within a reasonable price. It seemed like the majority of the prices for these decks were going for like $200, $300, even $400. And I think that that's just a little bit too much. I think even as for me, who collects some of the the cards, I don't have a as huge of a collection as other readers, but even for me, 200 or more is just ridiculous. So I held back. I did not purchase it, and didn't purchase it, and I waited. And then I was stalking one of the listings for this deck on Amazon, and Amazon was having it on for like $130. And I was stalking the deck because I figured, okay, this is the lowest I've seen it. And then I saw a listing on eBay, and eBay was selling it for like I think it was 150. So I was messaging that seller and I was asking if they would be willing to negotiate price, and so I was trying to bring it down to at least $100, but they didn't do that. So I figured, you know what, this $130 one doesn't seem too bad compared to like all of the other prices, and what I could have done was still continue to be patient. But then I found myself realizing that eventually that deck is going to get sold. Someone's going to buy it, and then who knows, maybe the rest of the decks that are going to be coming out on eBay and whatnot will be sold for well into the 200s or 400s. So I didn't really want to risk that. and I really wanted to own a copy, so I purchased it. The other cool thing about this particular buy that I did, the seller was, you know how you go when you check the item description? I wanted to make sure that it was a full deck of cards, that it wasn't missing anything. I just wanted to make sure I was really purchasing what I thought it was. And so I sent them a message asking, is this a full deck of cards? Is it missing anything? What is the cards, are they brand new looking? Are they old? Like, what can you give me a little bit about this? And then I had noticed in their item description they had made a comment that the deck was haunted. So knowing me with my interest in the paranormal, that really got my attention. So I sent them a message as well about that. I said, is the deck really haunted? Ha ha ha. And so they messaged me back within about a day or two. And they said the deck is definitely haunted, and then they said the deck is in great condition. It has all of the cards, and so I knew this one was meant for me, just because of the funny little tidbit about it being haunted and whatnot. I was like, that's perfect. That's my humor. I need to have this deck, so I purchased it. I don't regret it. I had the money for it, and it's mine now. So it came in the mail yesterday. I picked it up, and I'm so excited. So I had in mind that when the seller had said that this deck is haunted, I was like, okay, I'm gonna let's see how true that was. So I've had this deck in my possession only, today's the second day, and last night I did not experience anything crazy, anything creepy, anything haunted, anything that would give me that impression. So it could have been just a joke, but I did notice when I open the deck, it comes with all of the cards. So there's 40 cards, and then it also comes with a little guidebook. But when I opened the deck, all of the cards were turned, how they have, you could see the backs, except for one. And there was one card that was flipped the opposite way. And that one, let me see if I can find it. It's probably going to be like one of the last ones. Let's see. Okay, so the only card that was flipped the opposite direction that the rest of them was intoxication. It is the grapevine intoxication. I'm sorry. This card is so cute. So I was really intrigued by that. I made a note of it because I didn't want to forget. So I wrote it down in my spirit journal that the only card that was flipped over in this deck was the intoxication card. So then later in the day, I pulled cards because I like to interview the deck when it's brand new. So I pulled cards to ask it, how are we going to work together, this and that. And a lot of the cards that were coming through were very negative, low vibe, and then the vibe that I was getting from the deck was that I definitely feel it's a feminine, it's a female energy, and I feel like she was mistreated in a way. So if this deck, the energy, I'm talking about the energy revolving around the deck, but I do feel like the previous owner of the deck, maybe the original owner, not the seller that was selling it. Perhaps they acquired it and then they're reselling. But the original owner of this deck, I really feel like she was mistreated in some way. I feel like she was dealing with some sort of substance abuse. With the intoxication card coming up, I feel like she was, like I said, in some sort of a negative relationship. She was mistreated, she was abused, she was just a lot of taken for granted, taken advantage of. And so that was the kind of vibes that I was picking up. Based on the cards that were popping up, I was getting the vibe that this deck wants to have a love relationship with me. It wants to have a really good connection where we work together, but at the same time it was very hesitant. It was giving me the sickness and health card came up, the sad memories card came up. So I was feeling like the deck was letting me know that there was a lot of negative negative stuff around it that was revolving around it. So I'm wondering if by the seller saying that it's haunted, it's not necessarily haunted, but that the deck is definitely carrying with it vibes from a previous ownership, vibes from the previous user of the deck. Maybe the user mistreated themselves, or they were taken advantage of, and so, you know, I don't know a lot of you guys, but a lot of the readers here, we understand that when you own a deck, your vibe, your energy is implanted into those cards. So if you purchase a brand new deck, it's easier to connect with it than if you purchase a deck that is used, because a used deck actually comes with the vibes and the energy of its previous owner. So a brand new deck is different. It's you're pulling it out of the wrapper. It's literally never been touched aside from the people who made it or put it together. It's your deck. So that's the difference between purchasing used and new. So I've had my fair share of purchasing used decks. I love it. I actually prefer it because I just feel like you're rehoming. It's kind of like when you want to adopt, when you want to adopt, whether it's a child or an animal. Going to the animal shelter, I say, is better than going to where they're breeded to be and look a certain way. So if you go to an animal shelter, you're adopting an animal in need. I feel like that's the same way with the decks. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you because I thought that was really interesting, that the intoxication card was the only card that was flipped over. It was kind of like that deck was giving me the warning sign that, hey, this is what I've been through. Do you really want to work together with me? So I feel like if the previous seller, the seller that I purchased it from, had some sort of feelings and vibes from the deck saying that it was haunted, then it definitely could have appeared that way to them. But for me, I do feel like this deck was just, it needs love. It needed to definitely be cleansed, and it needed to, it needs just love. So what I did last night was I actually, let me move the camera down. So last night I placed the deck on my altar, and I did not bring the crystal, but I brought one similar to it. So I had a smoky citrine point, and I placed the smoky citrine point over the deck, and I let it sit beside my protection white candle all night, alongside with my gorgeous chunky amethyst crystal. So amethyst to me is very relaxing vibes. Amethyst is all about protection. Amethyst is all about your psychic senses and whatnot. It's also my birthstone, so I just felt like it's kind of like me giving love to the deck. I don't know, that's just intuitively, like, that's what I was grabbing onto. And so I did that. I let it sit overnight that way. I also have cleansing spray. Let's see. So this is an older version of it, but this is it's called Negativity Banishing Spray, and it's a mixture that's created from a local shop that I go to. I have a brand new bottle at home, but this is what I keep in my purse. So what I did was I sprayed some of the spray into my hands, mixed it up a little bit so it wasn't too overwhelming, and then I literally touched the deck, and I touched the cards, and I shuffled the cards so that the mixture of this spray can get onto the deck itself and act as a cleansing mechanism for it. I'm using the sprays these days to cleanse decks and also my room and everything myself, because I don't have the ability to light incense. I prefer smoke cleanses. I prefer sage or incense sticks to cleanse decks and myself in the space, but unfortunately, because of where I am currently living, I'm not able to light that stuff. So I had to go with an alternative, and definitely the alternative is cleansing sprays or the negativity banishing spray. So that's what I did. And then I let the deck sit overnight, and seriously, the energy of the deck is so much brighter. I haven't pulled cards with her yet, so I thought it would be kind of cool to film the very second reading with her, so that you guys can kind of see and get an idea of what she's all about. So let's see if this will focus. I feel like it's a little bit blurry. My camera, I think, honestly, you guys, I think I'm on my way into getting a new camera for the Cackling Moon. I think it's going to be my next major purchase for this business because my poor little webcam doesn't seem to want to work as well. Sometimes when I plug her in, she doesn't work, so it makes me sad. Okay, so this is going to be the very first reading. I have not pulled cards with this deck since I've given it a cleanse, so this is going to be like the very first reading that I do. And I'm really interested to see what she wants to say. Oh, we just had a jumper. Choices. So the choices card just came out. Needs, necessities. I always pull in threes. Prosperity. So she's warming up to me, definitely. The choices card, the needs, necessities, and the prosperity is telling me that she definitely needs more. I think she's telling me that she's definitely needing more of a cleanse, another one. So I'll definitely give her that tonight. But I feel like she's just letting me know choices are to be made. It's like she's making up her mind to figure out if this is a good fit. I personally feel like this is going to be a really good fit between me and the deck. But she does have necessities. As you could see, the needs and necessities, if you could see the image, is drinking from what appears to be like a water jug. I just want to point out, I do feel like the vibe of this deck was definitely substance abuse. So I feel like the deck is kind of saying it needs something in replacement of the substance abuse that was taking place. So it's really interesting how a deck can hold and embrace and carry on forward a previous user's energy. So definitely the person that used this deck beforehand, I do really strongly feel they were challenged with substance abuse. And so this deck is definitely revealing that. And I'm trying to snap it out of this deck because I personally don't do that. And I'm hoping that working with it more will allow this deck to evolve and to kind of blend in with my own personal energy. So it was just really cool. And that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys as far as the Victorian Flower Oracle goes. These are the card backs in case anyone was wondering. They're really pretty, like golds and grays, like pencil drawing and then gold. It's really pretty. So this is the Victorian Victorian Flower Oracle. In case anyone was interested. I think there is a copy right now on eBay, but like I said, I think it's like $200 and something. So it's kind of like, how much money are you willing to put out for a deck? I've been wanting this one for quite some time, so now that I have it in my possession, I'm really happy and excited. But like I said, it's definitely filled with its own energy. I'm going to have to work through it, cleanse it, and just work with it, give her some love. So it just goes to show you that, you know, it's not just a deck of cards, it's not just cardboard. You are really dealing with someone else's energy, especially if you're purchasing used. So I wanted to put that out there in case anyone else is dealing with something similar or has questions about dealing with used decks, decks that may appear to be haunted. I just wanted to put this out there. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to hear your stories. And tag me in any videos you make if you talk about your own experiences with purchasing a used deck that appeared to be haunted or whatnot. So anyways, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye guys.